It's a great pleasure to introduce this staff training film. We've got a terrific team in Dorset. It's been a huge pleasure since I came 2 years ago to meet so many staff and to discover that people are really committed to working for the benefits of children. Every inspection that we have comes back with that report, just how committed our staff are. But there are areas where we could work much better. There are clear ways in which we could improve. We have started to create multi-agency teams, but they're still working in an uncoordinated way. We still depend far too much on the way in which people work together because they happen to know each other. We need systems and structures. We've got to get out of working in silos. We need to make sure that we look at the budgets that we have to provide the best possible prevention services. If we're going to sustain good services in these times of severe economic challenge, then we have to try and work together to prevent children moving up the ladder of demand so that we get in early with a good joined up strategy.
Of course, as we know, one of the key elements of integrated working is actually about the use of the CAF process. And the CAF process being a single assessment, which hopefully means that practitioners can come together around a child, young person or family, but only make one assessment rather than exposing the family to repeated questioning and, probably worsening their situation at the end of the day.
Well, when I got pregnant, I didn't want anyone to be talking about me, or I was just a bit embarrassed to go to school because I thought everyone would be whispering about me and staring at me and stuff, so I just stopped going to school together, really.
When I first met Michael, he's a very different person to who he is now. I met someone that rarely sort of went out of the house, always seemed to be quite emotionally low, didn't really seem to have much value for life, did you? Sort of always seemed quite sort of down and had no hopes for the future at all, really, and just thought his life was useless and worthless.
Children's centres were developed with the idea of multi-agency working being at the core of what we offer. What's happened at this centre is that we were a 0 to 5 service, delivering fairly good multi-agency work from this site. What's happened since we've had the integrated hub here and since we've really embedded the CAF process in our work is that we've become a 0 to 19 service almost seamlessly.
Using the Common Assessment Framework is a fantastic tool as it starts off right from a base assessment and gives the family ownership of what's going on and involvement right from the beginning to actually be a part of the process right from stage one and feel that there's a team coming around them of other professionals that are going to work with them to actually support them through whatever's going on, and the issues can be wide-ranging that I've come across as an individual, but the various support packages we can put in place can be tailored to actually meet those needs. Lots of people would think that the parents and carers would find the process intrusive, but when it actually comes down to working with the family, the assessment starts you right from day one, getting their active involvement, letting them know it's a voluntary involvement and they're actually part of the process right from day one, giving them that ownership of what they're actually being a part of and that it's about supporting them, not doing anything against their wishes.
We spent a lot of time actually working out how we could get practitioners to use the CAF process to improve outcomes for children and young people. But how could practitioners be supported in doing that role? Because we realised it was quite different to what they'd been doing before. One of the things that we did was to actually come together in what we're calling practitioner support groups, which is where on a monthly basis it would be possible for practitioners to meet together in a neutral venue, if you like, and actually just talk to each other about some of the cases they were dealing with. But that worked really well in actually getting people used to the CAF process, but also talking to each other and considering how they could work together to provide services for children and families.
It's my aim here for every team member, whether it's the receptionist or the cleaner, to have CAF awareness training so that if a family comes in and, has a multi range of needs, if you like, that we're all aware of what the CAF process is, just as we would with safeguarding, so there's a general awareness. But then we've got, obviously the outreach team and key nursery staff who all have the CAF full training and are able to take the role of lead professional if necessary. I know the paperwork for a CAF can seem very daunting and onerous, but actually it's a secondary matter to the work that's going to happen. As long as the team around the child are aware of what their part is in achieving those outcomes. That's what counts. The paper is there for evidence, but it's not the be all and end all.
There is a point in those meetings,
Yeah.
isn't it,
Yeah.
where it changes,
Yeah.
and you can see it
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, and then it flows from them that, you know, loads more things come out that, you know, they felt sometimes ashamed or, you know, or worried that other people had judged them. But once they realise that that team around them are non-judgmental, it really empowers them.
Yeah, and it's at that point that they take charge of
Yeah,
the process
they do.
and contribute to the action plan that you're
Yeah.
trying to build.
Yeah. And also some of the most effective ones I've witnessed them is where the child's been integral, actually interviewed for the CAF. Their views voiced and included, and they're put on the table every meeting, but the child has said this, you know, and they are seen as that central point of the meeting, and their needs are addressed.
And there's also lots of occasions where the positive outcome is actually the parents' understanding and the parents managing to cope.
Yeah.
I worked with a young lad that had had bereavement in the family in the form of his stepfather passing away, and a mum with a variety of mental health issues that ended up having quite a drastic impact on her. His younger siblings were taken by social care to be supported. However, at 16 years old, his level of support wasn't being met. Through doing the CAF, we were able to support him not just into a further level of education, but also ensure that he had options to get support for the emotional situations that he'd been through and to carry on moving him on into a positive future. He's now got his own place with his girlfriend. He's doing very well. He's at college doing a catering course and looking to finish that and go on to actually be living completely independently.
Emma rang me and said that I should come down here and meet her. And at first I just thought, oh, I didn't really know what it was going to be about, and then she just really helped us a lot, so it was really good.
In what ways did she help you?
Well, she got me on the Young Mum Speak course, and I done really well, and it was good to just like let the time go by because it drags so much when you're pregnant. It was something to do in my day. And she helped us to get our own flat because there wasn't enough space at my mum's house, and I didn't really want to live with my mum and my sister once I had the baby and everything. So she helped us to rent our own flat. So yeah.
And those two things were linked, weren't they? The Young Mums to Be course and you getting the housing sorted out.
Yeah, I had to go to the Young Mums to Be course to prove that I was like mature enough to rent a flat. So that helped us to get a flat. Yeah.
And what sort of things did you do on the course?
You had like a booklet with loads of different units, and you just learn all about pregnancy and like how to look after babies. You did a bit of maths, and I got my level 1 and 2 in English and maths as well. And I did a level 2 award in food safety as well.
So Hayden, what's parenthood been like for you?
Scary, hard, different, but no, it's alright now. So getting used to it.
Candice, what happens for you now?
Well, I've been accepted on a college course in September. It's beauty therapy at Lansdowne, so I'm just waiting to start that really. And Chase is going to go to the nursery at the college as well, so that'll be good.
It was through the CAF process that we engaged social care to provide direct payments to Michael's brother to help him sort of gain confidence by getting out the house, doing activities. We also accessed a pre-E2E course, which he completed and did really, really well with. And direct payments paid for transport up there to Holton Lee. You finished that a couple of weeks ago? Was it a bit longer than that?
The 17th of March.
Okay, yeah, so a few weeks ago. And his tutor has just been so pleased with his progression and things.
Locality teams in North Dorset have been developing really well, I think, in the last 6 months. What we've done is brought together a number of different service teams under the management of myself as locality manager. So that's been really beneficial in terms of bringing the teams together to provide a much more coordinated approach to supporting children, young people and families, and ultimately is about improving outcomes for those children. In North Dorset, we've developed a hub here at Blandford Children's Centre, and we've very much tried to integrate it into the Children's Centre to be part and parcel of it, which has been really important. We've done quite a lot of work on setting priorities. We've talked to teams, we've talked to our strategy group, which are key partners who have got a strategic role to play and guide our locality plan, and they've informed it in terms of what priorities they might have as an individual organisation. But we've also held a big event, a Locality Development Day, earlier in the springtime, and at that event we used a technique called turning the curve, which basically looks at where we are now in terms of a priority, and for instance, if we did nothing, what would continue to happen. So for instance, in my locality we've identified 6 specific areas of work that we as a multi-agency team, along with our partners, have identified that we want to focus on in the next 12 months. And hopefully that will start making a difference in terms of turning the curve.
This afternoon you're going to go and have a little look around Weymouth College, and that's going to be with his social worker Adam. Just one step at a time, isn't it? We're just going to go and have a look, check out the buildings, check out the surroundings, and maybe look at doing a foundation course, because you're still not sure about what you want to do, are you?
No, not really.
So that's where we're at now.
Yeah, it's definitely been worthwhile to do the CAF, so it's definitely helped me a lot. So.